help her bring it in? Bob, do you like fishing? Do you like to fish? Yeah.
Egan's the town I grew up in, and we just fished from the bank on small ponds. We'd ride our bikes and fish, and then
down to Bob Downey.
at the cabin we had access to boats and stuff, so I fished a bunch there. But yeah, really got the bass bug maybe when I was like 10, 11 years old. And I discovered the ponds around the house had bass in them, and my buddy showed me a Texas rig one time when I was probably 10 years old or something, and how to rig it. And I remember putting the bullet weight on upside down the first few times. I was like, oh, this guy. My uncle brought us on a nephew's weekend trip, and at the end of that trip he gave each me and my 2 cousins a floating Rapala, 11, just black and silver sides.
You see, the stories weren't about ordinary largemouth bass. These were big fellas.
Just your typical floating Rapala that every kid in Minnesota seemed to have in their tackle box. And I brought that back to the ponds in Egan. I still remember casting it out, letting the ring settle, and I twitched it once and the thing just blasted. And that was like the defining moment for me and when I got hooked on bass fishing. 2019, the open schedule came out, and they were going to the river that year, the Mississippi River. Dream that had been put on the back burner for the last 8 to 9, 10 years, all of a sudden was kind of like maybe an opportunity in the open. Well, I fished the first one in Toledo at a decent event, and then was able to get into the second one on Smith Lake, had a decent finish there. Then the river was third, had another good finish there, so I was sitting 7th in the points going into the last open on Grand Lake. And ended up winning Grand Lake, the last one, and qualified for the elites in the classic that week, and the rest is kind of history. But
it's like a keeper. One fishing in the springs off of Lake George, hooked up live. Oh, no. Gosh! Are you kidding me?
Bob Downey down from Minnesota almost doubled his weight time. He had 3 for almost 9 pounds and just caught a 7.
feed up for the fall, and I think that's what we discovered here today. We're catching like the first little bits of these early fall punch and fish in either dead grass or the pads that are still standing right now, and you start hearing those bluegills pop in the afternoon, and it's usually a really good sign. It's been a really fun day so far. Just punching a little cleanup craw, natural color, real slender profile, so it comes through this stuff really well. A nice little kicking action. Fun size. Look at that chunk. Man, that thing's been feeding up. Bunch of pads. Early fall. That was my favorite way to catch them. What a ton. Big. What a friggin' chunk. Man, look at that. Mouth on that thing. Beautiful bass. It was after my second year on the elites, and I didn't really have a plastic sponsor, and Dan said something was possibly in the works with Rapala, asked if I'd be interested, and I said yeah, absolutely, I'd love to see what it all entails. Rapala's been such an awesome brand to work with. Dan Quinn, Kyle Wood, those guys are like some of the best people to work with in the industry, and so for Dan to ask me to work with them on plastics was kind of a no-brainer for me. We used to call it like, it was like, it was a dreamlike state. Like if we went out and crushed them for a day, like we had just been in a dreamlike state. And that was like Crush City to us, right? So whether it was Lake Waconia in the Twin Cities, probably my favorite metro lake that we tournament fish on. We had some really big days out there and good big tournament wins. Or if it was just bouncing around up in northern Minnesota on Memorial Weekend, crush a bunch of bass and try and enter that dreamlike state. So that's what it was for us. My plan is, with the conditions we have, being sunny and calm, hopefully, there'll be a shallow bite. Is my hope.
Is there like some shallow rock and stuff, or like what's
Shallow sand and rock. Yeah. So we'll see. I think it'll be a brand that has a lot of potential for expansion too, whether it's from the pro staff side or the product development side. The foundation they've built, I feel, is really strong, which hopefully will lead to building really great things to come. Oh, dude. Are you kidding me? Man, little 3-inch mayor. Freaking dang, man.
That was sick, dude. That was freaking dope, dude. So that was dope.
Biggest one we've caught today. Son of a gun. Dude, that was pretty sweet.